testing. 5 seconds in. Okay. Okay. I think we're back. And we got 5 seconds of delay instead of the minute. I hate Twitch. I hate Twitch. I love Twitch, but I hate Twitch. I hate him. I hate it with every fiber of my being. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Oh God. We will deal. We will live. We will thrive. In fact. Because I really don't know what's causing that. Ah well. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You got me? Nice. I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I've always admired you so much, Detective. In the same way that certain Dragon Ball-based video games, there's Dragon Ball Legends. Yeah, we should be back. Thankfully, I decided to just turn stream off and then back on again to see if I could fix it. And I hope, so far, it's been looking good. I got 0 dropped frames, thankfully. But also, it's only 2 minutes into stream, and I'm getting nervous because I don't know why it's causing that. I don't know why. I honestly, I'm starting to get concerned, but you know, we will cope. We will cope, and it will be great. You know, I have a high tolerance for copium. I have a very high tolerance for copium, which I think will do me well. You know. Here we. Just checking something real quick. Ah, well, okay. I know I can count on you. Joey Wheeler, is that you? Sorry, Yugs, but I gotta do this for my sister. I'm sorry, Joey, but I can't allow you to win. Fuck your sister. And her blind eyesight. I can't let you win. I am the king of games. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh? I can only wish. January 7th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4. Attention duelists! Attention duelists! Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? What's wrong? Nothing, it's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me?" I was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was a phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty? So Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please? Mr. Trite. Whether you're fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today. But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright! I wasn't questioning whether you were Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. Damn! That's why I intend to find out. No denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for one reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on the case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please, summon your first witness. Let's start with formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court! Sorry, sir. The name is Police Department Detective. Occupation Dick Gumshoe. Other way around, Detective. Godot throwing shade, absolutely. Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of the case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was on the initial investigation is tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe really got everything under control, for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elg. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc. in a local company. This was the victim's autopsy report. The court accepts this into evidence. Glenn's autopsy report died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. And here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here, and the poisoned coffee was brought over to him by by the waitress. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Jean Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo. He ate 1 billion bananas in 10 minutes. Yes, it's the radiation that killed him. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Blueprints of the victim's crime scene. Come, detective. Pick up this hammer. And nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elg, was listening to the radio at the time, and traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. What we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, looks like Miss Bird might have, well, had some kind of motive. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you, that wasn't me! The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table. We understand the guy Glenn Elg was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his cup. He was listening to the radio? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece? What should I do? Should I press this point? Press a tiny bit. Let's figure it out. And what was it the victim was listening to on the radio, Detective Gumshoe? Huh? How should I know? Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere. This isn't going very well, is it? Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? Poison, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. Tell me more about the motive. Some kind of motive? Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion. You know what my golden rule is, Detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I'm saying, we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe. He said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it! That's what we heard yesterday, too. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was the winning ticket for $500,000! Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. And is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? No. What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder? Yeah, press harder. We gotta get all the information. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ah. I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's a $500,000 lottery ticket. Give it here! One of the female police officers found it when they were conducting a search of the defendant. What? Order! Order! Ha! Like the lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket into evidence in the court immediately. Better keep an eye out for that ticket. That way the judge's voice is quivering. Found during a body search of Maggie. This ticket was presented at the time, but it feels heavier now. $500,000, you say? It's just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. And that's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. You really think there ain't contradictions in this testimony? To be honest, I don't know. Gumshoe told us out in the lobby. He said he'd be forming a united front, right? How will we win the case if he doesn't throw us a line? I don't have a whole lot of options right now. The best I can do is gather the facts together. Can I stop you for just a minute? Uh-huh. What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for that to be true, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now, it doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said, and What killer would say when they were faced with a homicide conviction? Gumshoe remains one of the GOATs for real, for real. Gumshoe is my favorite, and I will never, ever let anyone sway me from that opinion. I will sit here, I will be on my deathbed saying that Gumshoe deserves a higher pay raise. Honestly, he deserves to be police chief. He deserves to be the fucking head of police. Because I can guarantee more shit would get done, and B, he would actually, he'd actually care about how things were run. He would take pride in his goddamn work. Hey, sadly her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. What should I do? Should I press it? Yeah, press it. Keep pressing. Well, maybe the other witness just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee at Trivia and Trite. He may be an airhead, but damn it, he's still a good cop. See, like, the internal part of me is still, like, yelling, being like, there's no... The only good cop is one that quits. But has Gumshoe ever quit the force? I think he has at one point, hasn't he? Like, out of like being like, yeah, he has been fired because he was too good of a cop at one point. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost certain that that's canon. I might be grasping at straws, though. I might be grasping at straws. I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? It's more like a photo to me. Yes, a one-way ticket to a guilty people. Population the defendant. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance of the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place. I think the court will agree that there is a clear view of the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Trite, could anyone have overlooked a second person at that table? It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Twice now. See? Photo of the scene taken near the kitchen. We understand that the guy Glenn Elg was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in the coffee cup. The traces of poison were found in the coffee cup and nowhere else? Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid, or was it a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. Ha! You put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trite. The victim took his coffee black, with no sugar. Ugh. Should I press on this point harder or not? One in the special episode of Game 1, and at the end of Game 2. Huh. But yeah, you know what? Gumshoe. Gumshoe is up there. There you go. No wonder I like him so much. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee? Huh? What do you mean? According to the file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever even drank any of it? Hey! Wait, you're right! That's what... In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. For me? Oh, hey, you're right! You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have time to present that piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? This! Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns? Hello, coffee boy! You came just in time to see Phoenix get hit in the head with a cup of fucking coffee. This game summoned me, apparently. Apparently so. What wonderful timing, coffee. What wonderful timing indeed. Now I remember. This is the victim's coffee cup. Yes, the victim's coffee. Take a good look at the rim. Oh, yes, it's unmistakable. There's clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim drank the poisoned coffee that was in the cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought in. Like this! Ugh! Jesus! For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Coffee contained potassium cyanide covered in the victim and Maggie's fingerprints. We are talking about coffee, though. Coffee, 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 coffee. Upon further investigation of the cup, we found a certain chemical substance. That's enough. The facts of this case are overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit a crime in which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit the crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. Sorry, that alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules a little. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. I mean, I make memes, but apparently I have unintentional comedic timing. Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance. With one final decisive piece of evidence. Got more evidence? This is the apron that Miss Bird was wearing at the time. Wow, it's not the cleanest apron that I've seen. That stain looks like... can't be blood, can it? Seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. The coffee? That's not exactly the first thing that catches my eye. Of course, the coffee stain is isn't the most interesting thing about the apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? I need that lottery ticket for, evidence reasons. Easy now, Judge. Easy now. A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide. The very poison used by the killer was in her apron pocket. A bottle of poison? In Maggie's pocket? Yeah, Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. What?! Order! Order that the court will accept the item into evidence. I feel like we need to address the blood, or the ketchup, or jam, or whatever the hell the rest of that is. Deadly powdery poison bears Maggie's fingerprints and found in her apron pocket. Could also be pasta sauce. See, I would say pasta sauce, but they were in a French restaurant. They were in a French restaurant. Not an Italian restaurant, a French restaurant. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the chef does not know how to cook. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why did you not explain the blood stain to the court? Blood stain? What blood stain would that be? Don't play games with me, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over this apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me about a blood stain. You don't need to be told. Just look at it. Well, detective, could the stain really be blood? No way, sir. It's just ketchup. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while she was cooking breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a bit sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again, and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. There's a lot happening. Can I get a rundown of what's happened? Okay, so we started this case not even knowing that it had already happened. This case has already been run before. We are doing a retrial of it because someone impersonated our good buddy Phoenix Wright. Supposedly, this person, this like programmer of sorts, won a lottery ticket, was poisoned, and according to Maggie, who is the suspect who is being suspected of being the person who poisoned this man. So they supposedly saw two people at the booth, and then everybody else is saying that there was only one person. The chef is about $500,000 in debt, so they also had motive to actually kill the person. So that's fun. But I personally don't think it was them. And yeah, the person, basically a person was impersonating Phoenix Wright, and they impersonated them, and basically ran this trial like a fucking clown show, more or less getting Maggie a guilty verdict. And now we are trying to clear Phoenix's name and Maggie's name, because Phoenix, like everybody trusted, like Maggie trusted that this was Phoenix, which they really shouldn't have, because he talks very different. We've already met the guy and he talks very differently. But yeah, that's roughly where we're at right now. Oh, I thought everyone knew that it was already. I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, the supporting evidence. Every time he chugs a bottle of ketchup, he gets a +10 to speed. We're trying to make him the fastest person alive, but he keeps passing out after 7 bottles. Oh. The supporting evidence, they've all been clearly established. Well, trite. It seems you really are phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation. That's Phoenix wrong. I support Phoenix rights and Phoenix wrongs. The crime was reported at 2:25 by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from shock. Must have been real tough on her. Oh, thank you for the care package. I appreciate that. Gonna get myself a big stretchy. There we go. The victim didn't have any identification on him, obviously. But we figured out who he was pretty quickly, and then had the investigation go smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. And that was it. Nothing missing. Nothing else missing. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one. Let the fun begin. The investigation. Old person. Oh, right. There was an older gentleman who supposedly saw the whole thing. They were one of the witnesses along with the chef. 2:25 by a kind of scary old man. Let me, here we go. This will make it a lot easier. So, Maggie is being accused of killing Glenn Elg, a programmer who supposedly, who was listening to the radio and apparently won like $500,000. Victor Kudo and, and Jean Armstrong, the chef, were both in the restaurant at the time of the poisoning. Maggie claims that there was someone else sitting with Glenn when they dropped off the coffee with them. Maggie ended up passing out for some reason. We're not really sure why after, this man, ended up dying. But both of these people say that this man was the only person there, which, unfortunate to say the least. Yeah. And that's where we're kind of sitting right now. Yeah. I meant it like, old person. That makes sense. A kind of scary old man. Now, let me check the autopsy report real quick. Okay, that fits between the time of death, so... Poor Maggie had passed out from shock. It's been real tough for her. Let me get the scary old man. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe? There's an old man who was a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. Wait, so bro was a power scouter? Wait, bro was a power scouter? Essentially, like, dude is a programmer, and I'm guessing that's how they wanted to design a programmer, to show that they're a programmer. They gave him, like, a scouter, but, like, I'm guessing they're going for, like, a Google Glass kind of thing. Bro has a power scouter. They had to show that they're a programmer somehow, my man. And what's the most high-tech thing you can think of? That's right, a scouter from Dragon Ball. We're obviously talking about the same old man. Officers were dispatched right after the report came in but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then they hurled abuse at them in speeds. Speeds. It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. Guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer at the time. He took his time finding the payphone, apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Poor Maggie must have passed out. How long was the defendant unconscious for? The officers got to the crime scene at around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at the time. Took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been at the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to carry out the search too. I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that. Oh, pretty and peaceful. You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher. Spelled B-Y-R-D. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know about is the investigation. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? The victim didn't have any identification on him. Didn't he? Yeah, not the floating screens from Iron Man. A little piece of glass that tells you stuff about people. There we go. Victim didn't have any identification on him. He didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen? No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have any driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. A bird watcher. 58 cents? Yeah, can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. How many cents you got, Gumshoe? The victim sound. I got 69 cents in my wallet. You know what that means? I don't have enough money for chicken nuggets. The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man, or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something. You are. Yeah, because like, why did he go to this restaurant if he didn't have any money? Wait a sec. Huh? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase what you just testified to the court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly? Oh, that. So let down. He's got sagging shoulders and a puppy eye thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with the lottery ticket. Seems Mr. Glenn Elg visited the doctor before he went to Trebienne. We got the victim's name from his medical records of the doc who prescribed him the meds. Makes sense why he couldn't see the ketchup. His visor has red in it. I feel like this is the second... I feel like... Is this going to be like a running... Also, thank you for the follow, Glibix. Wonderful to have you here. I feel like this is going to become important. It's like... What do you mean Godot can't... Like that's... I'm pretty sure that's the second time that there's been something red that they haven't been able to notice. Phoenix, give him some chicken nuggets. That's reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone? Ask about the prescription bag. What sort of medication was in this bag? Well, actually, the bag we found was empty. Huh? Yeah, completely empty. Completely empty? Huh. Ah. You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, aren't you, Wright? Now, what happened with the investigation out? No. No. We go back, and you tell me the rest. Oh, okay, you're not gonna... Okay, cool. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? Hey, yeah! You nailed it, pal! It happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes! Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So, Wright, someone planted the evidence in Maggie's. What a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to, if I heard any. Appears you have no evidence to support your theory. Continue with your testimony. Is that a disastrous life of Psyche K reference? You know, I'm not sure. I actually still need to watch that, because I've seen clips of it everywhere, and I'm like, this is... I love them. I love this character. And that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Detective? Detective. Detective. I think you know as well as I do that that's a lie. Detective Gumshoe, I would like to point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony. Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will ya? You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medication from the scene at the crime later? Get Gumshoe some proper food. No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Très Bien. Where, then, did that medicine go off to? You are too cool, pal! I think you're cool, too. Indeed! Due to consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I need to finish season 2 of it. I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far. Huh. The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic of that prescription bag, William. What's the clinic's name got to do with it? It's the Hottie Clinic, isn't it? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological Clinic. What kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound. A war wound? The day before the incident, Mr. Elk found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. He ruptured his eardrum? Then what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside the ear canal, not to be ingested. What? Gumshoe's a big dummy and we love him. I love him. He's such a himbo. He's got a heart of gold. It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, here it is, in very, very fine print. Why the fuck is it written this fine? Jesus. I need my reading glasses for this. It seems Mr. Eld correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Très Bien. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No! Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. He's right, but I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Push the medication issue. Because it's still gone. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Très Bien. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the scene of the crime. However insignificant it may seem, it is a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. Nanometers. Mr. Godot, it's the detective, the only witness the prosecution wishes to call. Godot. I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant on the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater? Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems more than trivial at best. Ow, getting your eardrum ruptured. Absolutely. Like, also, we're back to a goddamn 56-second delay. God damn it. What happened? I'm gonna figure this out at some point. I'm gonna figure out what's causing this goddamn mega delay. Because I'm getting pissed at it. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. Well, that means that it's the perfect reason that we should look into it. You realize that, right? Like that, like I'll have to point that out for you. Mr. Wright, do you want a penalty? No. Listen. Your ears shut. Your ears open. Oh. Before I give you a ruptured eardrum. Ugh. God. And that is something that bothers me. Yay, good job, Nick. The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ah. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. January 7th, 11:03, District Court Defendant Lobby Number 1. Whew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line, sir! No, it's my line! I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe, how could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up! I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right? Okay, I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had a whole life of them. But it really hurts this time. It feels like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. Poor Gumshoe. The next witness is going to be the old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. But he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I'll take whatever he throws at me, even if it's a never-ending bird seed. January 7th. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who brought... Oh, fuck. Oh, God. God, can I go back and never mind. Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Tcha, listen, young'un. How much call do you think these here for... there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before the country even existed. Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for this kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him on the kitchen. Well then, witness, were you at the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are, huh? I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh, yes! Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. And please, tell the court. We're all ears. Well, yeah, of course you're all ears. You ain't got no eyes. I'll tell you all every last detail. He's really getting into this. What happened to your nose, good sir? Obviously, he got punched in the schnoz. Here we go. Quick. Quick! I didn't even realize that was a response to the nose issue. What happened to your nose, good sir? Crack. What the fuck? Really getting into this. What I witnessed. Running back chicken nuggets. I also got some chicken. The young man was reading a sports paper. The serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. That man took one sip and it looked like he was in terrible pain and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as waitress. Pshaw! You're as bad as the rest of them. I didn't know the woke left was incorporating the judge system. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with the old-fashioned ones, hmm? Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone! Don't forget the old values! Don't let the good old days slip away! Well, time to begin the cross-examination. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I don't want to do this. The young man was reading a sports paper. So you saw the victim, and you saw Mr. Glenn Elg. I wanted to know if Guts and Brawn retained this championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? At the location in question, there is a partition between the tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means that you were sitting at the table on the other side of the same restaurant, correct? I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitresses? Serving girl brought him a Javachino, but put something in it. Mr. Kudo, that's a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and I cross every I. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor says I don't need spectacles for reading and driving. I'm so tempted. The way this man is talking about people, I'm so tempted to give him the accent, but also, I don't want to speak that into the world. I don't want to be the one who gives this man the accent, because I feel like they don't deserve it. I'm already hell bent on giving them like a TF2 soldier-esque kind of like thing, but also. Hello, it's me. My eyesight is fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles, Marine. The eyesight, the best you've ever seen. The best. I passed all the tests. I don't think I could do a whole thing with them, so I'm not. I just had to get it out there because, man, it's... Oh, God. I bet his eyes are only fine when he's scoping out a waitress. I saw what the serving girls put into the Javachino as well. And I know what's coming up, and something tells me that he's not going to... just press harder. Go. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask what the witness I would like to ask what the witness what he knows about his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put a white powder in there. Well, hey, there's gonna be an ad in 5 minutes. So, I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't want you guys having to deal with this over a minute delay. Would you guys rather I stop and restart stream to try and have that 5-second delay back? I'm more than willing to have that be the case, because I'll be real. I think I want you guys to have an experience where you guys are able to talk. I could care less about my Discord being full of like notifications and stuff like that. Like, this is an unprecedented thing, but I want you guys to have the option, you know? And if I end now and start now, a new set of ads will start, like, basically immediately, within, like, the next minute or so. So, like, you know? Like, if you let me, like, you guys just let me know. Could have been sugar. It really could have. I thought the victim only drank his coffee black. What's with this Javachino nonsense? So he's been calling cappuccinos Javachinos. Or I guess like coffee, like all coffee he's calling Javachino. It looks like he consumes white powder. Yeah, he consumes the white powder, and he consumes one type of white powder. We are fine. You are fine with the minute, or you are fine with the restart, because I'm good with either. In fact, I actually need to go and get myself some dinner, well, lunch real quick, so like this, whatever our decision is going to more or less be that. I'm waiting for other people to give me the down low on this. Because I want to make sure you're all feeling fine, you know. Oh. Ah well, if I don't get any other responses, I'll just leave it at the minute level, and you know. That just seems to be the best case scenario. Bow, bow. Ba-down, bow, bow. Ba-bow, bow, bow. Ba-bow, bow, bow. Ba-bow, bow, bow. Ba-bow, bow, bow. There's no question about it. Conspicuously put some kind of white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? I think a restart would be okay.